Can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the father.
All single ladies, all single ladies, all single.
Back in 2014, the entertainment industry received a huge shock. But no one was more shocked than Beyonce when she realized her father had a child with yet another woman. Coy Knowles is absolutely the cutest. Though she's much older now, with each passing day, her resemblance to Beyonce keeps getting out of this world. Queen Bey is everyone's favorite, but one thing most people don't know is that the music legend has half-siblings. It's shocking, seeing as she never talks about them or even acknowledges them. So what has made the Ivy Park owner shun her half-siblings, and why are people calling out Solange and Beyonce for not acknowledging them? Do Beyonce and Solange Knowles owe it to their father to have a relationship with their half-siblings? Sure, Matthew Knowles may have played a key role in cultivating the careers of today's most celebrated artists, Beyonce and Solange Knowles, but he also has a well-documented record of infidelity. Matthew and Tina Lawson actually separated in 2009. Then Tina dropped the suit in 2010, only to refile the following year, saying the marriage was insupportable because of discord or conflict of personalities, which prevents any reasonable expectation of reconciliation. One child that Matthew had out of wedlock in 2010 is Beyonce's half-sister Coy with Takoya Branscombe.
You remember Takoya? Oh, you remember. Takoya.
Takoya, a dancer at the time, said Matthew treated her like the love of his life during the affair. However, that all changed when he learned she was pregnant with Coy, after which he left her. He not only left her, he even had the audacity to deny that the child was his.
When you told Matthew Knowles that you were pregnant with his child, how did he react?
Very much, well, you can't get pregnant by me. You know, it can't be my child. Can't deny it once DNA test comes out 99.9% that you are the father.
The whole situation just seems messed up and is a source of pain for Tina as well as Beyonce and Solange. Takoya did not wish to get involved in the whole situation. She did admit her role in the whole problem by saying, "Yes, I slept with a married man and it was the wrong thing to do. But I have a beautiful daughter that came out of the situation." Even with a legal battle with Matthew, Takoya was also hopeful that maybe one day her daughter might meet Beyonce. But the thing here is that Beyonce is not necessarily excited about meeting her half-sister. She even once said that Beyonce was not interested in meeting Coy, but we can't really blame her because their father really did their mother dirty, and obviously they would stick with their mother. In fact, when their parents remarried, both Beyonce and Solange were noticeably absent from their father's wedding, but the sisters were present for their mother's marriage to Richard Lawson in 2015. Matthew did try to justify the absence of Beyonce and Solange from his wedding by saying, unfortunately, Beyonce and Solange had previous engagements, which made it impossible to attend. We're not that oblivious. We all know why they didn't attend their father's wedding, because after everything he did to their mother, it seemed pretty insulting to their mom if they had attended the wedding. Another interesting thing about Coy is that her mother was allegedly very good friends with Solange. Based on reports, Takoya met Solange through a hairstylist in 2008, and they apparently went out to clubs and bars together in Texas on numerous occasions. It wasn't like Matthew wasn't aware that Solange was friends with Takoya, and Solange apparently had no idea that the two were having a relationship. Honestly, we really can't blame Beyonce and Solange for not wanting to have anything to do with their father and Coy, because how could he sleep with Solange's friend without her even knowing? Despite everything going on, Coy seems to be carving out a niche for herself as a model, actress, and dancer under the management of an agency in Texas. And we can say for sure that she has the Knowles talent running through her veins and the sassiness to go with it, which reminds us of Beyonce when she was younger. It would have been better if it was just one child, but unfortunately there are more children that were born out of wedlock for Matthew.
And Takoya was pregnant at the same time as Alexandra Wright.
And this is all on it's a blurred line as to whether he was actually divorced from Tina or going through divorce. Whatever it is, it's really sloppy.
Yes, Matthew also fathered what we should call a love child with Alexandra Wright, and he was refusing to pay child support until Alexandra took him to court. It's honestly quite painful that, as a grown man, he's refusing to take responsibility for his actions. It even got so bad for Alexandra Wright that at one point, she and her son Nixon had to live in a homeless shelter because she couldn't afford anything. But just like Takoya, Alexandra also admitted her role in hurting Tina, Beyonce, and Solange in the process. Sure, it's nice that they're apologizing, but honestly, the whole drama could have been avoided if Takoya respected Solange and Alexandra did not date a married man. She apologized to Tina, Solange, and Beyonce for having an affair with Matthew. She did so in an open letter which read, "It is with a heavy heart we must head back to Superior Court to continue the fight for the rights of my son Nixon Knowles, who has proven to be Matthew Knowles' biological son. My family and I have exhausted every non-legal avenue to urge Matthew to be a responsible father and to follow the stipulated judgment we reached together, which was approved by California Superior Court. The official judgment was filed and dated September 10, 2010. Every detail was covered and agreed to by Mr. Knowles after a year of private negotiation." Alexandra also talked about how, in the beginning, she had a working relationship with Matthew that encompassed mutual respect and personal admiration. "I regret the pain I have contributed to his family and to my own family. I have the utmost respect and admiration for both his daughters. They're both lovely women. I also regret the pain that this situation has caused his ex-wife Tina and very much wish one day I will get the opportunity to tell her personally." Not only did she have to fight Matthew Knowles, but she also got it pretty rough because tabloids started reporting that she blamed Beyonce when she was homeless.
I got over 1,000 death threats last week alone.
What?
Because this article said that I blame Beyonce, which again, let me say for the record, it's not her fault. I've never blamed her. I want the best for her. Everyone's in pain.
That just seems pretty absurd, even if she didn't do it, because Beyonce doesn't even speak to her father to the extent that would make Alexandra go so broke that she'd be homeless. I mean, what gain would that be to Queen Bey, right? Regardless, it is still crystal clear that Beyonce and Solange do not want to have anything to do with their half-siblings, even though many people are saying that if Beyonce and Solange wanted anything to do with Coy and Nixon, they would have done so by now. On the other hand, they have a pretty solid relationship with Bianca Lawson, who is their stepsister from Tina's marriage, because in 2021, Bianca was one of the members of Beyonce's family and friends with her signature Adidas Ivy Park collection. Also at a red carpet event in 2018, Bianca refused to choose who was her favorite between Beyonce and Solange, but she acknowledged that the two are super different while insisting that they're both extraordinary and iconic.
Oh my God, that's unfair.
I have to ask. They're both amazing.
I'm taking
but-
both. I'm taking both. I'm not.
So there's a different love for each one of them. They are super different.
They are very super different,
yeah.
but like both extraordinary and iconic.
Considering that children aren't at fault and that their blood, whether they like it or not, it would be more than kind for Beyonce and Solange to reach out to them, especially since they also have young children. But it's understandable why Bey and Solange don't want to meet because of the circumstances surrounding their birth. And they probably don't want to hurt their mother further, especially since she has been hurt enough by her cheating ex-husband. So far, there are already 2 children out of wedlock, but for all we know, it could be way more than that, because there are receipts proving Matthew's promiscuity. So when it comes to the issue of Beyonce meeting her siblings, it's gonna be a while before she can get acquainted with all of them. So tell me, what are your thoughts? Leave them below in the comments.